Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast with me, Finn Kelly, and my co-host, Reese Pearson, or Reese Fit.
Yeah.
This is a question and answer episode where we answer your questions. So, let's get into it.
That was a very robotic sort of intro. Fair enough, right?
Imagine if that's the first time someone's watched, they'll be like, fucking hell, he's a bit weird.
Yeah, but then not much, probably more emotion than what you were like in prep.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it'd be an upgrade. If they hadn't watched for
We
5
need
months,
to-
they'd be like, oh, Finn's back to normal.
We ought
Finn's
to watch some of them back.
It'd be painful. It'd be fucking awful, that's for sure.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that's that. Right, first question. Rapid fire, 3-car dream garage. Or garage.
Bugatti Veyron.
Okay.
My Mustang.
Really? Not the 5-litre one, you get the 5-litre one, surely.
Well, yeah, a cool Mustang.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, and...
I need to think about mine.
Bugatti Veyron, Mustang, and probably like a Audi R8.
Okay. An Audi R8?
No, what's the RS6?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Good choice. That's a good one. Good choice.
What was I gonna get? I was gonna get an RS5. That between that
Yeah.
and the Mustang, but they were like another 8 to 10 grand.
Yeah, the RS6 is a banging.
Yeah.
I probably would actually because it's a big car. Yeah, I'd say Lamborghini Urus. You know the 4x4, the 4x4 Lambo.
Oh, I don't like those.
I'd probably go Urus for the big car. That'd be the family pick the kids up.
You don't
from
have a
school.
family.
Yeah, but pick the kids up from school.
You'll never be able to.
Yeah, maybe pick the adopted kids up, or
Yeah.
pick like whoever Sanaya gets to plant their seed, like their kids and
Yeah.
Sanaya's like seed
Yeah.
in them. Yeah. So Lamborghini Urus. I'd probably say Bugatti Veyron as well if I was to have a supercar, and then like a Porsche 911 Turbo S. That'd be that. But like that's almost a supercar. So I feel like if I was to like, because that's like that kind of borderline, a very cool, but it probably is a bit of a supercar. And I'm not really into like McLarens or like, you know, that sort of ilk of like, I wouldn't be thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna go and get like a McLaren or like a race
Yeah.
car. I never really thought about that.
You know what I would like?
Actually, no. You know what? I'm changing it. G-Wagon, 911 Turbo S, and Urus.
Not a Veyron.
No.
You know what I'd like?
What?
My first ever car.
Okay.
My Clio. Like, just to have that.
Yeah.
I kind of wish I'd have never got rid of it.
Yeah, my mum said that about one of her like previous. She had a Mini Cooper, John Cooper Works Mini Cooper S, and she was like, I just really like that car. Like, if I could find the exact same one, it randomly popped up, I'd just buy it.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be worth like $6,000. And she was like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't really drive it, maybe once every month or two, but I'd just have it to have it. Because she was like, I really like
loved
that car.
my first Clio. Like, I think it literally lasted me the first like 4 or 5 years of driving.
Changing my answer. I'm gonna say I'd have to have a Nissan Skyline G30 4R. Do you know what they are? Yeah,
the ones that you were talking about with Josh.
Maybe, yeah, they're the ones that like you can tune up to like 800 horsepower. The ones out of the Fast and Furious films, they're really rare. They were like 30. They were like 30 to 40 grand. But then because they're been absolutely battered and the engine's got a really high like tuning potential, to get one that's in good nick, you're paying like 200 to 250. Like the price of them is absurd. Like because they're really really rare and they're a bit of a collector's item. So yeah, that would be a collector's item that I'd probably have, drive 3 times, it would break down twice.
Right, next question.
Yeah.
It's from Ed, Millie's boyfriend. That's
Millie
all
boyfriend,
it is.
yeah.
If R9 wasn't plagued with his injuries, would he finish his career better than CR7?
No. I think on assists and goals, probably not. But I think if you actually watched him or like saw clips, I don't think peak, because I remember like distinctively like 2003, 4, like I was really young. Probably one of my first games. The reason why I really liked him when he was like overweight, like getting to that overweight point. And I remember being like, who the fuck's this guy? Like, it was like one of my first games watching, and I remember like even in like 2006, 2005 when he was pretty washed. It was ridiculous. And even like, 2010 when he played in the Brazilian league, he was 115 kilos and he scored like 30 goals in like 35 games.
In
like
Brazilian league, though.
True, but he was 115 kilos.
I don't think you'd be like...
I think as an individual, I think he is better to watch. It's like the same as saying like, is Eden Hazard a better footballer than CR7? I think maybe on football ability potentially, but on physical, let's say big moments, efficiency, he's not. Like Eden Hazard and Mo
There's
Salah.
loads of players that are better footballers. Like David Silva is probably, you could say he was a better footballer. Bernardo Silva.
No, I don't think so.
You could say De Bruyne's a better footballer than Ronaldo.
I think
I'd say they are better footballers.
R9 or CR7.
I want about CR7.
Yeah, okay.
Imagine if you played centre mid, like you'd be pretty awful.
No, I think CR7. I think the last 6 years of his career, 5 years since the Juve move, have massively like muddled his image. Because I remember like going to like the pub with the fucking boys in like 2015, 16, getting a few scraps, few pints, few birds. You know how it is.
Yeah,
but I remember, normal Wednesday night, Champions League night. I literally remember going and watching the entire Real Madrid Champions League season where they won the Champions League for the first or second time. And it was a game against Bayern Munich, and it was inevitable. It was like I was sat there, literally Pepsi Max in hand, waiting for a Ronaldo goal. And it was like, oh, Ronaldo scored. And then I like played a bit of pool, looked again, oh, he scored again. And it was like, it wasn't a surprise. And like you refresh Twitter and you go, Ronaldo scored a hat trick in the Champions League. No surprise.
Fair, when he was at United,
yeah,
like that was when I was first like really getting into football, and he was a
demon.
Like,
he was a demon.
Scary.
I was watching his free kicks, trying to replicate in my front room his run-up style when I was like 8 years old, thinking this guy's cool.
I feel like he did change football. Really.
Yeah, definitely. He
like,
was
I'd say more so than Messi. Like I know Messi's like got a better legacy, and everybody thinks that he's the best.
Messi's just an alien. That's the thing.
But I actually think Ronaldo definitely, like, especially if you look at like someone like Beckham, like like a higher level superstar.
Yeah.
Not that means that he would have had a better career, but no, I don't think that R9 would have had a better
I think
career.
R9, like, respectably, is, like, in most people's number 9s, like, probably the best or top 3. And I think if he wasn't plagued with really bad knee injuries, he probably would go down as, like...
the best ever striker.
Yeah, best ever striker. But I think Messi and Ronaldo, Cristiano, are absolute aliens, and I think they're at, like, a pedestal on their own. But R9, freak, absolute freak. But again, when you watched clips of him, it's no surprise his knees blew out because he was stupidly fast while also being huge. Like he didn't make sense. He didn't make any sense mechanically. It's the same like if Kylian Mbappe was 10 kilos heavier, his knees would be obliterated with how fast he is. So
sorry for anybody who doesn't care about football.
Yeah, you should have skipped. Okay, agree or disagree that different shaped pasta tastes different? What's the goat shape? ?
We need to do more agree or disagree. Yeah. Quite good. And underrated or overrated.
Yeah. Guess who that was asked by?
Jack.
Yes, James.
I don't eat pasta.
I haven't had pasta in years.
Yeah.
Like 7-8 years.
We had pasta in Liverpool.
We shared a pizza and we had like a pasta dish each. And that was actually quite
pasta's nice. I just don't really have it.
I remember seeing, Nave Styles. He was mentioning his carb sources, and he's on like 6,500 calories. Bear in mind, I've had my calories that high, and he was like, "Yeah, my carb sources." He was like, "Pasta." I was like, "Pasta? 6,000? I would be shitting myself."
To be fair though, like you can get a lot of carbs in through pasta, but like I just find that whenever if I was to have a lot, it just never really sits that well.
Yeah.
I do like pasta though, but I feel like I had it that much growing up. My mum made pasta every night. Like it was literally every night was pasta.
Yeah.
So I'm fed up of it still.
What did you have with it? Did you have like
different sauces? Like one night it'd be like pesto
sauce, and it was so sick.
When
I was bulking back in like 2014. That's what I used to have.
I used to have like one would be like a pesto sauce, which was nice. One would be like a lentil sauce, which again was nice.
Lentil was good.
Yeah, but like it was pasta every night, and I was like, "Come on, mum, like mix it up a bit."
Yeah.
And then I got to the age where I was old enough to make my own food, and then I'd make my own pasta.
Okay.
And if I was to make my own food, I'd be making I used to do like beans on toast quite a lot.
So answer the question, mate. Do you think they agree or disagree? Do you think they taste differently? I wouldn't know. I do think though, if I was to think if someone was to ask me pasta, I would have a preference on what kind.
I have a preference
based off probably taste in a weird way. So I would actually agree saying it does probably not taste differently because I've actually had pasta mixed in, but I definitely have a preference.
I have a preference more so on shape.
Yeah. What shape would you go for?
I like pen or penne.
Okay.
Maybe that's my mum's.
What are the one that's like a line and it's got like a few bits that are like hanging off, so it's got like little bits. Do you know what I mean? It's not a shell. It's not a pen. It's not like a big shell, like a long shell. It's almost like squirrely, like compressed, like like a spring. If you were to like half a spring,
yeah.
Like that. What's
I know the ones that are like springs, but I don't know what they're called.
Yeah, that would be my preference. And then what's the goat shape? Jack said shells. Nah, shells are
penny.
Shells are bent.
Little rhomboids.
Yeah, right. That's that.
Oh, Jack asked me a question in the DMs, and I.
Do you want me to get another question up while you're getting that?
Yeah, you can do.
If you were to get a tattoo, what would you get? We've answered this before.
Massive cock
on your penis.
Yeah,
by the side of your leg.
Look bigger.
Yeah. So you can say, "Oh, no, look, that's my third leg."
Yeah.
And then maybe get disappointed.
When they actually see the real one and go, "What is that?" Oh.
Or like one by your arsehole, being like, "Enter." That'd be hilarious.
I've
with the
already got
lads.
that one.
Oh, with the lads, yeah. With the lads on the lads holiday.
When I went on my, well, not my stag do, Matt's stag do.
Yeah.
One of the lads got their football badge, the Cross Keys, the pub that they play for, on his arse. He's actually the manager.
Okay. Gets
So
dropped. Imagine he gets dropped a week later.
No, he is the manager.
No, fair enough.
Yeah. Can't drop himself.
Yeah, I'd say it's Finn won't get this, but there's a game. I've said this before. I think Skyrim. There's dragon language on that. Have you seen it before? It's like little shapes and stuff. And like I'll search it, so I'll show you while you get your question up. And it's like there's certain sayings, and it's in dragon language, and it's quite cool. Like it looks like it's like prehistoric.
Sounds really cool.
It does. It's really, really cool. It's really cool. So yeah, dragon language from Skyrim. I'd get something like that, or I would.
But what would you have? What would the dragon language say?
I don't know.
Bodybuilding.
Once you're in, you're in. Yeah.
I think if I was to get anything, like, it would have to mean something. And at the minute, there's nothing in my life that means anything. There's nothing that means enough, like, to...
Look, you see those little dashes?
That's really cool.
No, but you could have something said, like, I wouldn't know
get
what.
That, mate. Really cool.
Yeah, really cool. Please, right. Reese, honestly, get it.
This is the one from Jack, and it's actually a really good one. Rank these on which is the most difficult. A 147 in snooker. Do you know what that is? No. So it's basically where you pop, so you go red, black, red, black, red, black until all of them are done, and then you do all the colours in order.
A 180 in darts?
No, a 9 darter in darts. So a 9 darter is you finish in 9 darts, you get down from 501.
180, and then...
So it'd be 180, 180, 171.
Yeah, okay.
I believe.
Yeah.
And then 12 strikes in bowling. A hole-in-one in golf. If you practiced, which do you think you'd achieve first? Least amount of hours practice, basically. So we've got a 147 in snooker, a 9 darter in darts, 12 strikes in bowling, or a hole-in-one in golf.
Depends on the golf course entirely.
Yeah.
Like, what's the par? Like, is it a 6 par? Like,
let's say it's a 3.
Okay. I'd personally say golf would probably be the hardest, just because the likelihood, the area that you have to hit with the amount of mass that there is.
If you could.
But then I know holes in one are more common than like
you could play snooker for, like, let's say you were the same level as you are now. Yeah. You could do that forever, and you would never get a 147. Yeah. But if you were the same level as you are now, you could hit 1,000 golf balls a day, and you'd get one.
Yeah, you get lucky.
Whereas you would no chance get lucky on a 9 darter. Yeah. Impossible. You wouldn't get lucky at a 147. Yeah. Impossible. You could get lucky with a hole in one, and you could probably get lucky with 12 strikes.
Bowling, I'd do it today.
Yeah, I usually get about 9 or 10.
Yeah, I'd do it right now. So get me down the alley.
I think 12 strikes in bowling is the easiest. Yeah. Then I think a hole in one in golf. I'm not saying that's easy, but I think you could be lucky at that.
Yeah.
Then I'd say probably a 9 darter, then a 147. A 147 would be incredibly hard.
Okay. Ronnie O'Sullivan done it.
Oh yeah, mate, he loves it.
He's done it before?
Yeah, people do it.
Okay. So what's the more common one in
a 147 is less common than a 9 darter.
Okay, yeah.
A hole in one probably more common than all of them. Everybody gets 12 strikes in bowling. All the pros.
Yeah, they don't really miss, do they?
So yeah, I think bowling, golf, darts, snooker.
Yeah.
And then he put question, not food related.
What, he's got another question? Oh, he put a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Fair enough, Jack. Food question for me. So 50% next week. Can we get a question that isn't food related? I actually do enjoy the food questions. Keep them. Finn's a little food focused, and I'm
less than you, mate.
I'm on no food.
Reese got out of his car and ran over to me.
I just don't say. I'm not allowed to say. I'm not allowed to say what it is.
Reese got out of his car,
and I just told him about a way. No, because
he ran over to me.
I didn't run over.
Finn. Just as I was about to get to my car, I was like, Finn.
No, I had it literally in my passenger seat.
New way.
No, I had it in my passenger seat, and I was like, I thought I'd mention it because I know I've mentioned the normal one before.
Sprinted over to me.
Yeah. Right. If you could only use one brand of gym equipment for the rest of your life, which manufacturer?
Probably Prime. Maybe Jim Lecco. I do like Jim Lecco.
Really? You only use one bit, and you're going to say Prime, or Jim Lecco? I wouldn't say Jim Lecco. I'd be just saying like Nautilus or like Cybex.
Nautilus.
Cybex squat press. The isolations are sound.
Cybex
the upper body is good. Like the upper body, the eagle press is sound.
But Prime's all very good.
I couldn't imagine myself being like, oh yeah, let me just do a prime session. Like the leg extension hamstring curls are sound. So what you're gonna do? What
Yeah,
leg
you won't
press?
have a compound.
The leg presses. The prime pivot leg press is wank. They got rid of that at Rotherham.
Yeah.
There's not a squat variant, is there? No, there's not. Upper body wise, I
No,
mean,
there's primal, so you could just accidentally do that instead.
You can do prime.
I had someone say that again. Oh, I've got a prime squat. I was like, you haven't.
No, you've got a primal squat and it's shit. Yeah, I wouldn't say prime. And I'd say Nautilus, probably, actually thinking about it. Yeah.
I don't know. I like the Nautilus stuff, but it's all just very hard in the short. And it's like, it's nice, but, well, at least the pressing kit is.
Yeah.
Again, when you're looking at Nautilus, what you got? Yeah,
I'm going to be honest, hammer strength ain't actually that bad of a shout. Like, if you actually think about it. Yeah, but you've
Atlantis isn't a bad shout.
Yeah.
Cybex, I think, is probably...
What would be your least favourite bar, like Matrix or Techno Gym? So they're the two shitters. And Watson. Let's just have them. Like, Watson's probably actually the worst, I'd say. Yeah, Watson is the worst. We need to do a gym tier list.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe hammer strength. I'm not a massive fan of hammer strength. It's not bad, but it's not great, is it?
I don't know how we haven't even... Panatta, get fucked.
Yeah, that'd probably
Panatta, yeah, that's
it's not that bad, though.
It just feels so... It's way too smooth. It doesn't feel like you're lifting proper weights. It feels like you're lifting like elastic cables half the time.
Quite like the hoist stuff.
Really? I think most of it's pretty meh. What was the stuff that we used, that stuff in Vegas, that they were like, it's amazing? We were like, it's really not that good.
Torture?
Yeah.
That was decent.
When I went to Bev's gym in America, in New York, or New Jersey actually, it's not New York, the guy was like, we got this new bit of kit in, amazing. And I was like, I've already used it. And they were like, where? And I said, like...
that Torture stuff, yeah.
And I was like, I really didn't like it. And he was like, oh, okay.
It's decent.
Yeah, but
it's
they were
bad.
proper, like, we got this new bit of kit in, you'll love it.
Because most people just love anything new, don't they?
Yeah, so yeah, that was that. Your one, mate.
Jamie Jackson, are you both still doing your FPL teams?
No.
I have been a bit slack in the last few weeks, but I'm still like, I think I'm about 13th in our Once You're in League.
Yeah.
Whoever's at the top, whoever's going to look at winning. To be fair, my client Charlie, I think he's top at the minute. Big session coming, Charlie, and big £50 each coming your way. Yeah. Unless someone else can knock him off the top.
Mate, I'm 20th.
Oh yeah.
I need to get back on it.
Where am I? 13th.
I haven't made a sub in 20 weeks. I'm going to do a wild card because I guarantee half my team's injured.
You're doing it right now, yeah? Live on the podcast?
No, I can't load it for some reason. I'm 20.
Sam PHX, nervous pull out from Josh. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Josh didn't fancy it.
Scared of us.
Bottled it. Yeah. Which, to be fair, I actually said we'd say to Josh, be civil, calm down, let's have a chat, because he would say stuff, unfortunately, like for the first 5-10 minutes, he'd try and like make it a bit of a joke. And then once he's calm, he'd be sound. But
once he's in, he'd be in.
Yeah, once he's in, he'd be in. But he's a bit of a kid at times, bless him. Lovely lad, but he's very eccentric with his... like with certain comments and stuff, and Sam would probably have to make a lot of edits. Would you ever want to host a show with Finn? Now, does that mean host a show with...
like a bodybuilding show.
Do you reckon bodybuilding show?
Yeah.
That's ace, we could.
We already host a show.
Yeah. Welcome to the show, guys.
Yeah.
In case you weren't aware.
Yeah. No, we could do that.
We could, yeah.
It's only a few grand to do it with two bros.
Yeah, exactly. And you all they do is just put the banner there, and you can
it'd literally be called the Once You're in Open, or the OYIYI
Open.
Open.
Yeah, what would we call it? Once You're
OYIYI Open.
Yeah, the Open, the classic.
Because Once You're in starts with O, so it has to be O.
Okay, yeah.
It's like the Trained by Fox Takedown.
Oh yeah, shit.
Or the Race Strict Rumble.
Oh wow.
Or the Cuba Classic.
That's not the same. Unless it was last week where you said K and C for the club sandwich. You're like, club sandwich K.
Just trying to throw you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be the OYIYI Open. That's what it'd be.
Okay.
Because Once You're in Open is too much. So you'd have to say OYIYI.
Yeah.
Cool. Not a question, but please rate my physique. We'll do an episode. We'll do a special episode, mate. I'll remember you.
What's his name?
I don't know. I can't remember.
No, I can't remember. I remember your name. Which name? I don't know.
His name is Francois van der Venter.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to forget that, am I?
No one. Right. Favourite tray bake / brownie blondes.
Have you ever had a tray bake?
No.
Me neither.
What is it? Is it the same generic we want to like get people who are into food because they have serious eating disorders because they bodybuild. Let's now put an Instagram page up with really cringy stuff and just make it look really nice.
I think a tray bake is like if you were to, for example, like bake a flapjack, you would bake it in a tray.
Yeah.
Or
Speaking of
brownies.
that, I think I've been blocked by the cookie dealer, by the way, for some of our comments.
Really?
Yeah, I swear. I can't search them. They've changed their Instagram
I bet
name.
you're trying to search them
No,
because you're
no,
obsessed.
no. I think they might have blocked me because of some of the stuff we might have said on the podcast.
What's their name?
I don't know. They've changed their name. Sanaa was telling me, but like Sanaa
Is it My
searched it
Cookie
on my
Dealer?
phone. No, Sanaa searched it on my phone. She was like,
They're not coming up on mine.
"Yeah, you can't." I don't. They've changed their name. They're not Cookie Dealer anymore. But I think they might have blocked me. I'm not sure. I don't know.
They're always sound when I speak to them in person.
Yeah, and then they charged me 20 quid. Do you remember? I told you. They had to buy. I was like, don't worry, I'll just buy more. I wanted to buy one for Sanaa because Sanaa asked for one when she was judging for Vitex, and the guy charged me like 25 quid. Accidentally, and I was like, don't. He was like, I can refund. I was like, do not refund me, mate. I'll just grab 5 more. It's fine. No, he literally was like, well, you can grab a few more, and I was like, yeah, sure. So I ate them all on that day. 5,000 calories is just cookie dealers. Was on the toilet for the next 3 days. Yeah, I've never had. Trey brownie blondies. I feel like brownie blondies is like. I think that sounds like a chain. Like
No, brownie blondies like brownies are.
I've never made my own brownies.
No.
Tam, my aunt, when she was actually sound and not a bellend, she used to make really nice flapjacks that I used to have.
Blondies are brownies, but they're white with white chocolate, I think.
Okay. My mum once, this was one of her favourite stories, Derek, so my granddad, made a tray of flapjacks, and he said to Abster, when she was like 6, do not have one of them. So she had a bite out of every single one. That's what it's one of her favourite stories. She's like, yeah, so I was told I don't have a single one. So she said, I had a bite of every single one. And then he lost his head. He was like, didn't eat for the rest of the day. Like, didn't have dinner. Like, pretty much, it was pretty bad. So yeah, that was that. Yeah, my question, mate. Do you want to go?
Jasper B. Fit. Would you rather have all of your fat stored in one part of you?
Me, lower back. That's the answer. Lower back.
Or equally distributed everywhere?
From a non-competition aspect, just one area, because you could just be peeled and you'd look really good, but you wouldn't be competing. But if you're competing, evenly.
Is there anywhere where you could hide it if you were competing?
Yeah, me, back of my neck. No, it's just got a fat neck.
Face.
Yeah, imagine. Like, yeah, no, just loads of body fat. Everyone's like, he's spilled over. And you're like, he's not in shape, and then you just peeled.
Shredded.
Absolutely, that'd be hilarious. Is there anyone like that who's just got fat? Derek Lunsford, Olympia-wise, you could tell he was loaded up of insulin Superdrug because his face was fat as fuck, but he was peeled. I'm trying to think who else maybe. I think at open bodybuilding, their faces usually aren't that death-like. Like, you don't actually see.
Because they're very full as well on stage.
Yeah.
I would probably say if I wasn't competing, then I'd just have it all stored on my glutes probably.
Imagine that, just walking out with fat. Like, imagine like 60 kilos.
That was what I was like peak off season. Everywhere else was pretty lean. Yeah, I was shredded everywhere else. Yeah, I'd say glutes if I wasn't competing. If I was competing, then probably evenly everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's a good answer. In what order are you putting your socks and shoes on?
Left sock, right sock, left shoe, right shoe.
I go right first.
Yeah.
Usually. Yeah, that's that.
I do everything left first. Like left knee sleeve goes on first. And it has to be the exact same one because they're two slightly. One of them has got the label still. That's my left one.
Fair enough, mate.
Yeah. Building Phil. Tips on improving grip strength. Feel hands give in before back. You don't need to improve your grip strength, Phil. You need to improve your strapping efficiency.
Yeah.
Watch a reel on my Instagram. Go back a few months. You'll find a reel. Tells you how to strap up effectively.
It is stupid, isn't it?
Mate,
every
I have to
single
send clients that video
he
all the time.
Just doesn't he doesn't readjust his grip after 3 reps of a deadlift, and he's like, my grip went, and it's like every week your grip's going.
Yeah.
How is it still an issue?
I think like people think they're using the straps properly. Yeah. If your grip's still going, you're not. It's really that simple. Like when was the last time that either of us were like, oh, my grip?
No. The only time was when we were in B modified. It was really sticky, and I used normal chalk and not liquid chalk, and it was at 300 kilo pull, and I still managed to get the set done. It was just like I said to Finn, I was like,
didn't feel great.
Grip, my grip was shit, but it was still good enough to pull. But like when I see people's straps going, it's like you're not using it properly, or your hands are too sweaty, and you're not using liquid chalk.
Yeah, chalk and straps.
Or most of the time, it's just an excuse because you bottled the set. And they're just my grip. My grip was bad. My grip's horrendous, and I could literally do a deadlift strapped up without even holding the bar.
Yeah, you just sort of let it lock.
Yeah.
But forget all that. If you actually do want to improve your grip strength, then just grip things
Yeah.
and hold them for a long time. So like a farmer's carry or just a dumbbell hold. Like,
Or a penis hold.
yeah, just grip it as hard as you
really
can.
hard. And other people's meat. It
Yeah.
has to be others. It can't be yourself.
You can come in and do it if you want. For
Yeah,
us, mate.
do it to both of us while we're
Yeah.
doing the podcast.
Stand there in the middle and just all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. How long do you pull back on a tidy up before an off season?
what, so a mini cut or a pre-prep?
Yeah,
or
I guess
what?
so. Yeah, like it really depends on the person. I think if I think it depends on what's to come.
Yeah, I would generally say, like, in terms of duration of a mini cut, like, I wouldn't really want it to be running any longer than 12 weeks. I'd
Yeah.
generally say 8 to 12. Like,
Yeah.
if it has to be longer than that, likelihood is you either aren't adhering or you're not aggressive enough.
Yeah.
Like, if you're dieting for, let's say, 4 or 5 months and it's not
yeah.
for a prep, like, you're just kind of wasting time. Get it done within a 2-3 month period and you should
Get
be
as
sound.
lean
The
as
shorter
possible,
the
yeah.
better.
Yeah, the shorter the better. Getting as lean as possible relative to not
Without
training,
really,
performance
like,
dropping for
performance
any
detriment.
diet fatigue or like not diet but diet fatigue symptoms where like you start to notice the diet. If you're starting to notice the diet, like that's probably when you're getting to that sort of end point. Unless you are just like mentally horrendous and you're just like, oh, I'm still fat, but I'm so hungry. But like you should be hungry. You should get lean. Getting lean is a good thing. And
Yeah,
then
getting
gives you
hungry is a good thing.
Yeah, it gets
Another
you.
runway with your appetite going up again.
Yeah, exactly. I'll do a few more. How many have you got left?
A couple more.
Okay, you go then, mate. I've just got a few more, so we'll go through them.
So this is Brad, one of my clients. Does a good posing routine actually make any difference in regards to placing / judging, etc.?
Routine, no, but in the comparisons,
Yeah,
yes.
it
And also,
depends.
if you do pose well, they probably will look at you and think.
It
"Oh,
depends
that
on the
guy-
federation. Like, most federations don't actually judge it because you're not being compared against someone else. So like, you could step on stage and have the best routine ever and look insane, but then when you stand next to everyone else, they're bigger and leaner and they're
Yeah.
better bodybuilders at that given time. So it's not gonna make you win when you're not as good as someone else, let's say, within the class, or you don't suit the class as well. But it could definitely mean that they look at you a bit more, like Reece said, or that you like potentially get, maybe let's say it's really close with you and one other person and there's nothing that's putting you apart, but your routine was better, then yeah, that definitely could bump you up. But yeah, realistically, when it comes to actually like you're judged against a criteria against other bodybuilders.
Yeah.
So when you're doing a routine on your own, you can't really be judged against that criteria against other people. So that's kind of like, it doesn't mean that you should neglect it and you should enjoy it. It's like your time on stage to like, you know, show off if you like. But yeah, it's not going to be where if you're not as good and suit that class as well as other people, regardless of how good your routine is, you'll still place where you should place.
Solid answer. What factors do you need to take in when sourcing a coach? Cheers.
Do you respect them? Have they walked the walk? If they're asking you to do things, have they done it themselves? Do you sort of connect well with them or their content? Have you maybe spoke to them before? How personable were they? How quickly did they get back to you? You know, do they seem like they care? Look at their other clients' results, speak to their other clients,
Does
current
their style,
and previous.
like, suit
like,
you?
yeah, like, do you like, if you like training with, let's say, reps in reserve, maybe go to somebody who promotes that a little bit more.
Yeah.
If you like training to failure, maybe go to somebody who promotes that a little bit more. But yeah, I think, you know, if you choose a coach and you go off just, let's say, how they look or their following, instead of actually the fact that you've maybe followed them for a while, or if you see one reel of this coach and you go, oh, he looks good, I'll apply. Like, that's a horrendous thought process to choose a coach. Like, you should be choosing a coach based on their experience, their results, their content, their client results, their own results, how they come across on social media, whether or not you resonate with them, their experience, etc. Not just like how they look or how many followers they have.
Yeah, I think like most people, especially with social media, like there'll be people who watch this, I'm guessing probably think a fair bit of us when it comes to watching us, but like there'll be people that people follow and every time they see them pop up they'll go, shut up man, like you're not going to be coached by them, but you might see someone who every time they do a Q&A you sit and you listen, or every time they do a reel you just go, yeah, that makes sense. So even if you don't agree with it, you can still understand and listen to them. And I think most of the time, like being personable, and especially from a coaching standpoint, like what we try and do is we're just ourselves. Like podcast is us. We're the same in the gym. We're the same how we are with clients. And like I can guarantee me and Finn both could have probably more clients if we were maybe different in our ways. We'd keep clients around because we'd be a little bit more, but we'd lie to them pretty much, to be honest.
Be cheerleaders.
Yeah, and like we'd probably, like we've said before, like if we were just trying to be popular, we would probably say lean year round. We train in tank tops. We just do reels about us posing and stuff like that. And in most aspects, like when it comes to that, that's not going to bode well long term. But congrats, you get an extra couple of grand a month, and that's everything that's about, getting short term results and not long term.
Yeah, you don't earn that respect.
No.
Like in the long term, I want to be respected in the industry for being a good coach, a good natural bodybuilder, someone who's put the time in, like not just somebody who had their 5 minutes of fame or whatever it may be to get a certain amount of clients. Like.
Yeah, exactly. No, it makes sense.
Last one.
I've got like 2 more. So yeah,
Go on, then you go.
Okay. How do you brace properly, step by step? Would be class.
Do that as a separate video, one time.
Yeah, that's sound. What UK
Stay
city?
tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. What UK city/town is the hashtag mecca of bodybuilding? Well, firstly, the only real hashtag mecca is Ultraflex Rotherham. So, like, if we're talking actual meccas, I mean, technically, I'd probably argue now Derby is a very good place to be in because you've got Ultraflex Derby and you also have B Modified, which I'd argue B Modified is probably one of the most like exciting up and coming gym chains that there is when it comes to like it's new, the kit's really hand selected, Jacob's cool, vibes are wicked, very very cool place, and you've got Ultraflex Derby that has a ridiculous line of kit. So for cities, like I don't think there'd be a gym that has like. Because London, like, let's go up the country. London, shite. You've got
London,
down
you've
south.
got a few good ones.
Down south, you've got like the Phoenix gyms, pretty shit. Like they're not that good. You know, like Brighton area. Yeah, you have above that. You have London. Like collectively,
decent.
Yeah, London isn't bad, but like in one local area. Yeah.
Yeah, Kings. But no, I think Birmingham's got a couple of decent gyms, but not like an Ultraflex. If Birmingham had an Ultraflex, that would be pretty good. Manchester is pretty good.
Yeah,
FLF,
yeah.
Flex and Tone. Manchester's probably one up there.
Yeah, definitely, actually.
Rotherham, obviously, you've got
the hashtag
Ultraflex. Yeah, you got JD gym there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe a Pure gym. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Derby is very good. To be fair, we are pretty lucky with where we are now. Even like Leicestershire, or Derbyshire, Midlands kind of area.
Yeah,
pretty
definitely.
Good. Ross Wilton has asked, favourite piece of equipment from Prime?
Leg extension.
That's
my first. Yeah, that's my first thought.
Leg extension. I like the pin loaded chest press.
Yeah, that's good. Actually.
And the dip. I really like the dip.
Yeah, dip's good. Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few there for you, mate.
Yeah. I think that might be everything from me. Let me have a look. Yeah, sound. That's me done.
That's me done.
Got to ask technically, like, follow on from the what order do you put your socks on? What order do you get dressed?
So in the morning,
yeah,
I go to the toilet. I've already got my socks on because I sleep in socks because of the
benefits, sleep
benefits of optimizing my sleep.
Yeah. I do that when I'm lean, but when I'm heavy, I just need I need like to be cold.
So yeah, I already have my socks on, and usually the night before I will think, what socks am I going to wear tomorrow, and therefore they'll be the socks that I put on to sleep in because I know what socks I'm going to wear.
Uh-huh.
Think ahead, efficiency the next day.
You think about tomorrow yesterday.
Yeah, I'm way ahead of the game.
I think about tomorrow yesterday, guys. Do you know what that's from?
Yeah,
who is it? Yeah.
Then I'll put my boxers on. Then my trousers or shorts, whatever I'm wearing. Then t-shirt. Then jumper. Then hoodie. So I'm always in 3 layers. T-shirt, jumper, hoodie.
First, similar to be fair. I usually put my socks on after. Actually, I put my boxers. But to be fair though, if I'm at home, I don't put boxers on unless I'm going out. And like, so yeah, it'll be like, I do my cardio and I'll just put joggers on
just
or
be naked
shorts.
on the bike.
Yeah, just naked. So I
hoping the seat goes in there.
I do my cardio in front of the window that like overlooks like the main road. The amount of times the kids walk by and I'm like on their way to school and I'm just there like, like I'm doing cardio, guys. I'm doing cardio, guys. I'm doing cardio right, on the exercise bike. Yeah, sound. Sorry, I'm not hunched over, sweating. Oh god, that's an awful way to leave the podcast.
Let's wrap it up.
So yeah, that's that. Finn needs to shoot off.
If you're not already a Spotify follower, please follow us on Spotify or give us a 5-star rating as well if you haven't already. And if you're not a subscriber on YouTube, please do hit the subscribe button.
Great outro. That's that. Enjoy, guys. Bye bye.